How's it going, everyone? Got a lot of news to cover in this video. Got some updates on free-to-play titles, an unfortunate update on Bless Unleashed, but we got some new news on The Division Heartland that looks to have been leaked from Ubisoft's official store page. We'll talk about that, and it looks like it might be coming soon. CyberPunk 2077 will be getting a notable update come tomorrow, September the 6th. There will be a new Night City Wire, the Edge Runners special. We'll talk about that, and some are speculating that Naughty Dog could be teasing their next game as a part of The Last of Us Part 1. We'll talk that in just a little bit. But first of all, Bless Unleashed is unfortunately closing down 11 a.m. Pacific time on November the 30th, so a little over 2 months away from this. Now, this will be shutting down on PlayStation and Xbox One. The PC version will still remain live as those servers are handled by a different publisher. The official page notes, we've been publishing Bless Unleashed in partnership with Round 8 since 2020, and we've enjoyed our time with the wonderful players. Unfortunately, this time is coming to an end. Our agreement with Round 8 has come to an end, and we will not be able to continue supporting the game. This was a hard decision for us, but we will be closing the servers at the end of November. What this means for you, we will continue to provide support through our ticketing and live chat system through the end of the year. The servers will remain open until November 30th, 11 a.m. Pacific time. On November 30th, 11 a.m. Pacific time, the servers will close for the final time. Starting September 1st, obviously that's already passed, items will no longer be available from the Sony or Microsoft store. Starting September 1st, all items in the game shop will be discounted to 1, and we will continue to run the in-game GM events until the servers close. Thank you for your loyalty and support over the years. Unfortunate news here. I always like to see the free-to-play market on consoles thriving. Obviously, it's more of a market that I feel like thrives on PC, but does pretty well on consoles these days as well. I mean, there's a bevy of free-to-play titles. Unfortunately, sometimes these things happen and games do shut down. Of course, we talked about it recently with Splitgate. That game is not shutting down. However, major support for that game is concluding as well, and you would have to think that by the time those developers put out their next game, Splitgate might be also one that will ultimately be shut down, but that's still going to be a few years away, as that game's going to be dropping in 2024 at the earliest. But nonetheless, Bless Unleashed will remain live until November 30th. Alright, moving on from that, The Division Heartland is Ubisoft's latest free-to-play title, and it's the latest The Division game. We haven't seen Division get a new title in a little bit, but The Division Heartland is in development, and it is a big free-to-play title, and a leaked Ubisoft store page lists The Division Heartland as coming soon. The actual webpage has been removed now, but the internet, you know how it works. Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland is a free-to-play survival action multiplayer shooter set in a small town of Middle America. Massive PvEVP in Storm operations fight together in 45-player PvEVP Storm operations against a group of dangerous rogue agents and aggressive faction known as the Vultures, all while surviving a lethal virus. Prep the battlefield in PvE excursion operations, complete PvE missions, gather gear, activate alerts, and prep the battlefield in excursion operations. Progression and adapt to survive. Play as one of the 6 agents and select between 3 classes each match, all with their own perks and skills. The game also, again, free-to-play shooter, and the release date is noted to be coming soon. I doubt it's going to be out by the end of this year, but we'll see how this turns out. Sometimes free-to-play games just get announced and they very quickly go into some sort of testing phase and then ultimately get released very quickly thereafter. In the case of The Division, you know, I played the hell out of the original Division. Division 2 I didn't get as hooked on. Maybe that was just because I got my fix with Division 1. But Division Heartland definitely seems to be a different style and a bit of a different take on what The Division is, but it looks like there will be a variety of different gameplay modes in there as well. The Division Heartland is coming to PC, and console-specific window hasn't been announced. However, it was noted it could come by the end of fiscal year 2023, which ends on March 31st. I imagine that this is going to be a title they'll showcase at the next Ubisoft Forward showcase. It seems like someone just pushed the cart before the horse a little bit too quickly in terms of getting this webpage up, but I imagine given that they already have this ready to go, that we'll hear about an announcement here very shortly. Alright, moving on from that, Cyberpunk 2077, a game that I feel like I've defended quite a bit on this channel, based on the fact that if you guys follow this channel, you know, I'm not recommending this game at $60. I've recommended the game at $5, $10. That's the price you should be paying, but the official Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter account noted tomorrow is the Night City Wire and Red Streams day. You'll be able to find out more about patch 1.6 Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and we might have some surprises in store. So, looks like we'll get some news about patch 1.6, and if we're gonna see some surprises, I imagine that we might get an idea of some of the DLC content or some of the major updates that are coming to the game. Again, Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that you absolutely should not play on last generation consoles, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Just no moss on that, but on PlayStation 5, the upgraded version is pretty good. I definitely wouldn't say to buy the game on sale on the PlayStation Store, just because on the PS Store, still goes for like $25 to $30 on sale, and again, we've seen the game $10 at Best Buy physically, as low as $5 before, and that's a great price for Cyberpunk 2077, and I think people that actually check out the game on PS5 that never played the game and maybe just heard all the vitriol that was spewed towards the game, they'll be pleasantly surprised, because at this point you're going into the game with a fresh mind and an open mind and not expecting the greatest game of all time and not going into it with 10 years of built-up anticipation. That's just gonna be hard to, hard to live up to those expectations, but I think the game is pretty decent at the current state it is. However, bear in mind, CDPR, if past this prologue, they did a Witcher 3 Complete Edition, and Cyberpunk will be getting additional content, waiting even longer, waiting for a Complete Edition or something like that to come out that's gonna have the additional content, that's gonna get cheaper and cheaper. I mean, Witcher 3 Complete is like $10 now on sale, so at some point, Cyberpunk is gonna get to that point. Is it gonna be anytime in the near future? Highly doubt it. Maybe end of next year, early 2024, that's what we're talking about. But hey, some of you guys are patient as all hell, and do you need to add another, 40, 50-hour RPG into your backlog of 800 games? But, for those of you that already have the game, just be on the lookout for the Night City Wire and Red Streams Day. And Edge Runners, that anime also looks quite good. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. It's going to be a 10-episode series, so going to be pretty digestible. You'll be able to start it and finish it pretty quickly. So there you go. With that, again, that stream is tomorrow. Lastly, I do want to note that the Naughty Dog Central Twitter account pointed out, fans are speculating that art in The Last of Us 1 are indicative of Naughty Dog's new IP, seemingly would be a fantasy setting. What do you think? Remember, this would not be a first-time occurrence for Naughty Dog in terms of teasing a future project in a current game, especially a new IP. In Uncharted 3, in one of the areas of the game, there was a newspaper on top of a counter, and it essentially told you about The Last of Us 1. I don't think anyone really put it together real quickly that was gonna be their next game, but yeah, that ultimately did connect, and yeah, they do a little bit of this teasing, and the imagery definitely does point towards something fantasy-based, which would be kind of interesting to see out of Naughty Dog. I still think there's a lot of legs to Uncharted. I still think you could do a lot with that IP, but, they probably don't want to revisit that right now. Last of Us, obviously, my opinions on Last of Us Part 2 aside, that's a huge franchise, and it even seems like Part 1 is gonna do pretty well from a sales standpoint, even with the price point, but, yeah, I'll be waiting for a deeper discount on that one. But nonetheless, still up in the air on what that is. Remember that outside of Last of Us Part 1, they still are working on the standalone Last of Us multiplayer component, and they are working on this new IP. So they've got a lot of things on their plate right now, but at least Part 1's out of the way, and now we can look forward to, hopefully, some sort of extensive multiplayer content coming, and then also this new IP, which I'm interested to see what it's going to be about. And while I wouldn't expect to hear anything major regarding Naughty Dog's next new IP in the next major PlayStation show, I could easily see something like a teaser trailer or something like that, but yeah, right now that's still up in the air. But that's gonna do it for me. Again, Bless Unleashed, as far as the console versions are concerned, that will be shutting down on November the 30th, 11 a.m. Pacific time. The Division Heartland gets some new information from a leaked Ubisoft store page. We'll probably hear more about that at the Ubisoft showcase. Night City Wire, Red Stream Day tomorrow. That'll be happening September 6th, 5 p.m. CEST. And Naughty Dog's next title may be getting teased as far as the new IP is concerned with these fantasy images in The Last of Us Part 1. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.